Although women comprise 52% of Kenya's total population and 60% of the registered voters, political representation is heavily skewed in favor of men.
What was the spirit of this special sitting?
The field is not leveled for women, and many have to break barriers to even make it to the ballot.
Who has done that before? If you have a president or a leadership that believes in women, you'll go far. And that's why we are going far in Jubilee, because Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto recognize us. That's why we have a governor candidate called Joyce Laboso. That's why we have Anne Waiguru in Kirinyaga. We had Cecily Mbarire, who did her best, but she didn't make it. You get my point? They are senators. We have Joyce Lay from Jubilee as a senator. Because remember, we also don't have any senator elected. We have Margaret Kamar. And we have Hazel Katana. You know, we have at least 4 senator candidates. I think that NASA cannot boast of. So when we say who really appreciates women leadership, it's written.
Agnes Pareyo, who also tried for politics via the president's party, would read a different script.
We contested, we went to the primaries, but it was unfortunate because I won the elections, but still I was denied the right to be a winner. By the way, I was not even announced anywhere. They didn't even announce my vote because they didn't want me to be seen by the whole world.
So could you explain why do you think this is the case?
Well, because there were some people who were feeling that a woman cannot lead. And they were feeling like they would be ashamed to say their member of parliament is a woman.
Agnes was forced by her political party to abandon her campaigns for the parliamentary seat and instead allow a man to vie for the position. One of the main reasons for losing her campaign bid was the fact that Agnes Pareyo runs a center for girls rescued from FGM. Being a vocal advocate against the practice has earned her a mixed reputation among community members.
You are given nicknames, and some people feel like it's not a right of a woman to be a leader. So you'll have to fight it hard. For any woman to be in a position, it has to be a war that you fight, because you'll be abused. Your children will also be abused, even in the social places they go. They'll be told your mom is not normal. So it's not easy for a woman to be in any position.
We need to rethink the gender roles, because the value that we place on those roles are not the same. The values that we place on a leader, a public icon, a father, etc., are positive, uplifting, affirming. Unfortunately, society also, the values that now you place on the tag woman, sometimes are a lower, we place a lower value on that. So that is why I insist on the aspect of individuality. I don't think society will crumble if we have 50% women in parliament and 50% men. I don't think society will crumble.
The challenges that patriarchy presents are a reality that most women vying for political office have to come to terms with. Now, we're traveling to a county where all the 10 MPs who've ever been elected in all the constituencies there have been men. For the last 50 years, no woman has dared seek the people's vote for the elective position of MP. So in a culture where gender and age matter the most, what happens when you're young, unmarried, and a woman seeking the people's vote for parliament? Campaign billboards welcome us to the vast county of Samburu. The value placed on men and male leadership is clear as day. And somewhere hidden behind the majestic billboards of the men clad in warrior outfits, a small billboard announces the bid by a young woman seeking to join the National Assembly.
Usinipige ama uninyime kura kwa sababu mimi ni mwanamke. Uninyime tu kwa sababu ya kitu ingine. Lakini usininyime kwa sababu ya hiyo. Na usijaribu kwa sababu kesho msichana wako ama wa mjukuu wako ndio atasimama kutafuta kiti yoyote ile atataka.
The challenge that we are having, and I said, is this seat of a seat which is preserved for us. Yeah? And even me, I had a very difficult time to convince people why I can't go for that seat. Initially, everybody was saying, no, she's very good and everything, but please let her go for That's why you had me when I start my conversation, I say I am seeking your mandate as Member of Parliament. Because actually I went somewhere and I realized some women were saying, oh, we thought you were running for women's rights. As in their minds, that is what a woman is supposed to run for, you know. So it's quite a challenge.
Tonight, Lesuda Naisula is meeting business leaders in one of the towns in Samburu. The biggest worry for residents here is insecurity, especially with the bordering county of Laikipia. It's a sensitive issue for Lesuda's campaign bid because she's a woman.
Asante. Sasa mahali ya vita, tutachagua msichana aje. Mimi naomba Mungu anipatie ndio vita hata iishe. Kwa nini mnataka kusema nyinyi ni wa vita?
We want Naisula to get our 100. Aende nayo pahali ataenda. Juu kundi ataenda. Aende akiwa amepata 100 from our matters.
Wasamburu, wanawake wa Samburu bado wako chini, na ndio sababu unaona sasa mwanamke kusimama kusema wanatafuta kiti, ndio unaona kabisa wanaume wanakataa kwa sababu wamesoea wenyewe tu ndio wanajitambulisha, wanaona kama ni hao tu ndio wako mbele. Sasa wakiona mwanamke anaanza kutafuta viti, wanaona kama sisi tunakuja kuwapita, na culture yetu ndio haitambui wanawake sana.
Hakuna kusema ati ni mwanamke hawezi ingia ofisi, hataweza kazi. Atafanya kazi kulingana na ile kazi mpeleka kwa hiyo ofisi. Kwa hivyo hakuna tofauti ya mwanamke na mwanaume kwa uongozi, yote ni moja.
A former journalist, Lesuda has served at the Senate since 2013 when she was nominated in one of the affirmative seats.
Not only even here in Samburu, but even when we're in Parliament and everything, I would say something. Let's say someone was chairing the meeting and, you know, then we brush it off and everything. My colleague, a man, says the exact thing I said, maybe in just another, he changed some phrases there. And the chairman's like, very good, very good, very good. We're going to go with what so-and-so just said. And you're like, really? I just said the same thing?
She is facing a community where culture dictates the place of the woman, and campaigning against practices like FGM could cost you your political career.
The issue of FGM literally can determine how an election goes. Like, you threaten this practice, we vote you out. So here you have a female leader, a woman, in a very heavily cultural context, vying for leadership, already out of her comfort zone, because she shouldn't be the one vying. Two, attempting to tackle something that is very ingrained in culture, I think will require baby steps. I think first, one step would be to continue advancing the narrative of ending FGM in whatever space and way that she can, because we cannot contradict ourselves. I think we have to be consistent in what we stand for and what we do not stand for.
I can understand what Naisula Lesuda, a young woman I have respect for, is going through, but she's got to break that barrier so that story gets behind us as women. And I really hope the people of Samburu will give her a chance to serve them, because she's been an excellent legislator as a nominated MP. And I think she would do better for them as an elected MP.
Martha Karua, on the other hand, is running in a county which may well be the game changer for women in this election. The two front runners for the Kirinyaga County top office are both women.
Sisi haja yetu ni haki ifanyike hapa Kirinyaga, ndio?
And many predict that this will be the first county to be led by a woman. But even vying against a fellow woman is not short of its share of challenges. The battle is now not that there's a woman vying, but how old the woman is.
Ndirarega miaka tondu ni ndi mo yuthi na ndinoka gukwira ndi mo yuthi ndakwira ndi muciari wa yuthi no riu mwangia wa 53 years ndina 59 ni akanjeta mukuru ndumwire atige mithako mathaa ma wira atige wana mathaa ma wira no anjetire mwaru anyi no ria mukuru tambara wega wone kana no anjete meitu.
The race to August 8th has been long and tough, and for the women, it's been turbulent. And now the finishing line is just around the corner.
On the platform to ask for a position, the first thing I do is to identify myself and my qualifications. Any other details are extraneous. I ought to be employed first and foremost on my ability for the position offered. And I always say, ask me the questions I would be asked on an interview, you see? And the rest should sort itself out. And for the males who have failed to lead, maybe having multiple families, how come it is not, those issues are not coming up? The world has problems today, not because the leaders who are there do not have spouses. It's not for want of spouses. Some have multiple, others have none. It is the character of that person, the leader in them, that will speak to the job. And those are the issues that should be coming up.
You'll not be given. That space will not be given to you. You will not sit there and wait because the world is very good and very fair to you that it will come. It doesn't work like that. You have to get your space. You have to know what you want, and you go for it. Sometimes you'll make breakthroughs. Sometimes you hit a hard wall, but you have to keep going and to keep moving towards it. And over time, people will just start taking you seriously. You know, they'll start saying, "Hey, where is so and so, and what does so and so think?" But it just doesn't happen overnight. That that they just wake up and they decide that that is the case.
Women that I would have hoped would be helping us against, these wars against sexual violence against women, especially in politics, trying to give me a lesson or two about morality. I'm like, this is my advice to you. With your morality, come and vie. And you succeed with your morality, I see. I am not immoral, but do not subscribe a lesson in maths when you have never even started doing maths. You do not even, I'm saying for this kind of people, you do not even have a clue of what women go through in politics. The only difference between me and other women is I speak about it. There are women who even get raped. They don't speak about it, but I speak about it. If a man tried to rape me, I will speak about it, because such nonsense must stop.
The Shebeshs are the minority. The go-getters, the fighters, the who, we're the minority. Majority of the women leadership that I know and that I admire greatly are the silent ones. I keep asking God, so you just make me silent, because I kind of prefer this. Because when you're making a lot of noise and fighting, it means you're trying to push an agenda and you're getting frustrated. And so your personality of fighting comes out. So the likes of me, Martha Karua, Charity Ngil, the fighters, yes, we are there and we are loved by the women for that, because women want to see somebody who can fight for them. But then there's another quiet one who continuously comes back to parliament because she has a mannerism and a way that she deals with the things that also women want. Because women also want a place where they can be listened to, where they can sit, where there is leadership that is not consuming them with, politics 101 every time. That leadership is actually the majority.